It's 4 o'clock on Friday, and you know what that means, don't you? It's time for another exciting episode of Taxi's Quarantini Happy Hour. Woohoo! Big show today. We're going to listen to some awesome songs by one of my favorite artists that I've worked with in the studio. Yeah, baby. So hurry up, grab a seat, get all buckled in, and thank you, fake band, thank you, fake audience. Guess what I just did right before I went live? I was eating a piece of pizza that was like burnt and the crust was so crunchy. So now I need to drink some Rockstar, excuse me, to wash it down. Sorry about that. All right, so based on the hat that I'm wearing, who do you think we might be listening to today? And while you guys are thinking about that, I'll say hello to Bob Gunnerfeld, Jesse J. Peck, Dean Turner, Nancy Colell, John Hope, Bill Rosso, Emil, Windchime Spiritual, Darren Moss, Alex Dillon, Andre Stepanian, Peter Rahill, Darren Fletcher, Paul Etheridge. Last warned in episode 18. Peter Rahill says Shania Twain. Nope. Excuse me. Pizza and Rockstar. Not to be consumed before you go live. Hello, Lucian. Hello, Lamar. How are you guys? Not Garth. Not a country artist. I am burping like a pig. Sorry. Oh, man. Not Madonna. Nope. Think about it. Flannel shirt, hat. It's actually not the kind of hat this particular person wears. Neil Young. Jesse got it. Yep. We are going to listen to some Neil Young stuff that I worked on that is maybe not the best known stuff from old Neil, but some really good examples of, hello Martin and Robert, really good examples of, oh yeah, I've got stuff on here also from the Stills Young album, the one I was talking about the other day. I'm going to play some stuff. Do I have anything from Comes the Time? I don't on this list. Wow. I've got stuff from Hawks and Doves, Rust Never Sleeps, and Stills Young. If we have time, which I don't know, I'll play some stuff from Comes the Time. But I want to play some songs that have some cool stories. And so that's what we're going to do. Hello, Ron Schultz. All right, so let us begin. Let me get both of my ears on here. All right, let's see. What shall we listen to first? I got to show you guys this. Is this the cutest dog ever? That is a dog that is, oh, where'd it go? I think it's half Saint Bernard and half Blue Heeler. Anyway, really cute. Okay, now let me go find YouTube on my phone. And hello, Rick White. You know what? Let's start out with stuff from the Stills Young Band, which was the first time I worked with any of these guys. As I, played you that song yesterday that was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. This was a song called Guardian Angel that just had amazing playing on it, and really, really out of character for these guys. Let's see, where is it on that list? It's not there. Okay, let's search for it this way. And undoubtedly, we're going to get some commercials. I don't know what YouTube didn't. I got a copy of a non-monetization thing. What was the name of the song yesterday? Was called "Taken at All." And there is a squirrel in my backyard eating a tomato. Not allowed to relocate squirrels. All right. Guardian Angel. It's long.
We all scream for Snickers ice cream bars.
Here, I'm going to mute that. Let me know how the levels are.
There's a guardian angel watching over you, oh yes. Better mind your ways, just might leave on you. In the darkness, who else is really with you? Only you alone. Gotta live with you all the time. When there's no more time and nothing left to do, who will hear your heart? Your guardian angel.
That was Stills on piano. Joe Vitale on drums.
Would you know them if they stood in front of you? From below, longing the seats at you. Trying the telephone, someone might listen to you. Wow, but there's no more time and nothing left to do. Guardian angel.
There's Chocolate Perry on bass, still a friend of mine to this day, and was a taxi member at some point. And this was mostly recorded live, by the way.
When a passing stranger looks away from you, an uneasy feeling starts coming over you. Somebody watching somewhere, maybe today it's you. Comes a desperate urge to run, guardian angel, where are you? When there's no more time and nothing left to do, who will hear you? Who will hear your heart? Your guardian angel, yeah.
Go, Neil. Can you imagine? I used to get paid to do that stuff. People paid me. Oh, man. So that was Joey Lala on percussion. Remember my story about the guy playing sphinctophone? He didn't play sphinctophone on this record, but the same guy. That was George Chocolate Perry on bass. Chocolate and I remained friends for many, many years. We're still friends. And he used to have a Corvette convertible he'd pull up. I hired him all the time to work on records that I did after, like 2 or 3 or 4 years after this. And he had a P bass that was like totally devoid of any finish on it. First of all, Chocolate had fingers that were the size of Hostess Twinkies. They were just huge. He was a big old guy. He was like the Shaquille O'Neal of bass players. And he would come to my studio sometimes and walk in. He always had a Tupperware container filled with vegetation, let's say. And he would come in and bust that out. And I'd say, "Where's your axe, man?" And he'd say, "Oh, it's out in the car." And I'd go out there, and his bass was sitting in the Miami sun at like 3 in the afternoon, just sitting there baking in the sun. I am not kidding you. There was that much room between the strings and the frets, or between that and the strings and the neck. And anyway, so yeah, Chocolate Perry on bass. Stills played piano on this one. The like mellow lead guitar sound was him on his Gibson Firebird. Told you a story about when the neck got cracked on that, and I believe that it was after we worked on this song where the guitar went over and the neck cracked. Neil was playing some lead stuff on there. Joe Vitale of Joe Walsh fame from Cleveland, Ohio, great drummer. He was also a great keyboard player and played flute, if I remember correctly. And I believe that it was mostly Stills on the keys on this. I could be wrong. Maybe it could have been a combination of like Vitale on piano and Stills on B3. I don't remember. Anyway, isn't that a cool song? I mean, it's just totally out of character for those guys, but it also shows the range of what goes on in Stephen Stills' head, because he could write stuff like that, and it just worked. Okay, so after we worked many, many weeks in the studio without leaving the building, we all got to go home for a night off, but Stills said to me, "Hey man, you live like an hour and 10 minutes away from here, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I got a big old house on Miami Beach that I'm renting. Why don't you just come back to my place so you can crash at my place?" I said, "Oh, okay." So I actually rode in his car, which was a mistake because it didn't give me an escape. So there I am, riding with Steven back to his place, and we walk in the house. I was so exhausted. I literally hadn't slept in days. I'm not exaggerating. And I was like 21 at the time. So I had the stamina for a while, but there's only so much a human body can take. So I walk in the front door, and I see this couch, like right there in the living room, you know, as soon as you walk in the house. It was a big house. It was like a 10,000 square foot mansion kind of house. And Steven said, "Take any one of the bedrooms except the one on the left. That's mine." And I said, "Can I just crash here?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So I just crashed out on the couch. Like an hour or two later, I feel somebody shaking me, and I look up, and it was Steven. And it's like, "What?" I thought I was dreaming. It's like, "What do you want?" And he goes, "I got an idea for a song. Can we go back to the studio?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to mess with I don't want to wake Don up, Don Gaiman. I don't want to mess with any of the settings we've got in Studio B." So I called my friend Margie Curry, who was the studio manager at the time, and she's the one that scheduled everything. She was the scheduler, I guess. Anyway, and she and I are still really close friends. So I called Margie up and she said, go into Studio C. That's the room where they did like 461 Ocean Boulevard with Clapton. All the Bee Gees stuff was done there. So we went into Studio C and I took over one of Stills' amps. I don't know what it was. And I don't remember which guitar. I remembered it was an electric guitar. And he goes, I've got this great idea for a song. And he just started playing this riff in 12/8, down, 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 and he was partied out, let's just say. And there was just no stopping him. And I just had to keep rolling tape and rolling tape and rolling tape and rolling tape while he just played this lick over and over and over again. So I'm gonna play you a little bit of the song. It's called 12/8 Blues. Sorry, Stephen, but I'm surprised this song made it to the record, frankly. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. But it's got a story, you know? It's got a subtitle called All the Same. See if I can get past the commercials. Oh no, this one looks like it's going to start right up.
Can you see me crying? Can you hear me dying? I wanna talk to you. Listen to do you know me like I know you? Do you love me like I love you? Is it all the same? Yeah. We'll be old friends. Try again. Till the road ends. We'll be flying. Listen to me sing to you. I got the music. I need the space. I like to use it to get out of this place. 'Cause it's all the same, yeah. I got the miserable help me.
Neil.
Don't seem sensible. You tell me. I wanna talk to you. Listen to the love.
All right. There we go. I've got a little fade on that baby, huh? So, yeah, that was a miserable night for me hearing that riff over and over and over. And he would look at me through the glass, go, how was that one? And I'd hit the talk back and say, just like the last one. It's great, Steve. Can we go home now? And you know, when he went home, when the sun came up and everybody else arrived at the studio, he went home. Guess where I couldn't go? Home. So that was my least favorite part of working on the Stills Young album, Long May You Run, and definitely my least favorite song on that record. I think it's an incredibly good record, and it probably doesn't get enough credit. So now let's listen. We're going to listen to some more Stills Young. This one let me find it. Here we go. This one's called Fountain Blue.
Is that a...
Nope, we're not going to listen to that commercial. Go away, commercial, go away. It's kind of classic Electric Neil. So imagine this song originally with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young background vocals. This version has Chocolate, Perry, and Joe Vitale, Steven, and Neil on the vocals.
I left before I got out of it. People were drowning in their own fountain blue. Was that me? Fountain blue. Well, I guess I'll see. Fountain blue.
Pretty cool, huh? So, yeah, I think I've shown you guys, I don't have the photo here, it's at the office, but I've held it up before of Neil's guitar rig out in the studio while we worked on this record. I didn't get the drum sound on this. I was only the second engineer on this. I did get to engineer little bits and pieces, but I don't take any credit for getting the sounds. But this is where I learned how to do a full band live in the studio. And you, like I said yesterday, you just never knew when somebody would get up. They'd start out on acoustic guitar, then put it down, walk over and pick up an electric and start playing, or somebody would be playing a guitar, walk over to the piano and start playing. So everything was fair game in any song. But what makes it so cool is just the musicality of it. You know, there's no auto tuning, first of all. Many of the parts were done live. Anything that was overdubbed was usually nailed in a pass or two. There was no effort to perfect stuff. It was just awesome. And yeah, by the way, I was credited as the assistant engineer and no W on the end of my name. Thanks, boys. But that's okay. At least I was credited on Rust Never Sleeps, which I actually engineered some stuff on that. There were no engineering or studio credits on that album, but Neil was nice enough to send me a platinum record. So thank you, Neil. All right, so during the making of this record, Neil had a boat that was about 35 minutes away from the studio in Coconut Grove, sitting in a slip, you know, on the bay, or just out, you know, the bay was just beyond the little harbor area in the marina. And the boat was called the Evening Coconut. And one night, Neil asked if he could hitch a ride with me because I lived about a half an hour south of where his boat was. And for some reason, he didn't have a car. Can you give me a ride? So I did. And he said, you want to come on the boat and have a beer? So there we were, sitting in a couple of like director's chairs on the back of the boat, just looking out at the water. And this was a song that he played for me that night. He played me the bones of the song. He developed it a little bit more. And if I remember correctly, this was one that had, it definitely had Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young vocals on it. We had to wipe those out when the other two guys left the band or the record. And I got to record the first pass, I think, of the background vocals, which again were Stephen and Neil, Joe Vitale, and Chocolate Perry singing backgrounds rather than CSNY. Where'd that go? Video will play after ads. Why, yes, I believe you.
Midnight on the bay, lights are shining and the sailboats sway, and that cool ocean breeze blowing down through the keys. I think I'll call it a day. Oh, midnight on the bay sure feels good to me. What's this I see? There's someone coming, walking right up to me. She tells me I know your name, and if it's all the same, I'd like to spend some time. And midnight on the bay sure feels good to me. Oh, midnight on the bay sure feels good to me. And now it's midnight on the bay. Lights are shining on the sailboats that sway.
In a little bit, you get to hear their like Motown-esque backgrounds.
In the cool ocean breeze blowing down through the keys, I think I'll call it a day. Oh, midnight on the bay sure feels good to me.
Not a single 808 anywhere on that record, okay? Just saying. I mean, everything sounds so real. Maybe I'm just, stuck in my own generation, but it just sounds amazing, doesn't it? Yeah, and they didn't strive for perfection. They just had fun making great music and captured the vibe. I will get into some purely Neil stuff in a minute. One more song. Let's see. This is also from Stills Young, Long May You Run. Check out the musicianship on this.
Have you ever been down deep? I mean way down under the ocean, just inside Odin's reach. Better beware of his motion, and remember you don't belong. It always seems so unfair. The fishes around will always remind you, gotta go slow, take it easy down there. You've only so much air.
How about that bass line?
Might keep her. The sea car, but she'll make love to you, show you glimpses of the stars. At about 200 feet, you realize the peril, but seductive is the deed. That shark over there holds no terror. For a while you really belong. The ocean will always share. You become one like friends and lovers. So remember, take care. She'll try to keep you there.
And that's Joe Vitale on the flute. He's normally the drummer.
The deeper you go, because of the fresh sugar of the air, nitrogen comes and goes, get you high. It's an alien atmosphere. They call it rapture of the deep. Be you not afraid? You're too far down by now to be scared. 287 feet. I saw Jesus, and it made sense that he was there. So belong, but don't belong. There's plenty of ocean to share. Please take heed, there's mouths to feed. Ocean should provide, don't take more than you need. 'Cause heaven just might be the sea.
I killed it early. Oh my. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now we're moving on to, this was stuff that I did with Neil. This is just Neil, myself, and my assistant at Triad Recording in Fort Lauderdale. This took place probably a year and a half-ish later. As I've mentioned on other shows, I was out of the studio at a meeting with a bunch of attorneys about a record that I was getting ready to produce. And my partner in the studio called me up and he said, "Hey, you got to get back here right now. Neil Young is in the lobby." And I went, "Why?" And he said, "I don't know, man. He just showed up." So I went downstairs from that, like high-rise office building meeting, jumped in my car, drove to the studio, walked in the lobby. Neil goes, "Oh, hey now, I remember you. Want to do an album?" Or first he said, "Do you work here?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, great. Want to do a record?" And I said, "Okay, when?" He goes, "Now." So we went out and he had a 1954 Ford station wagon, two-tone. It was coral colored and white with a bunch of conch shells glued on the roof. He called it the Cosmic Coral Wagon. We unloaded a bunch of guitars, flipped the lids, let them acclimate a little bit, and we started making a record. So we worked together pretty much most days for like 3 months in a row. Very easy hours, like 11 in the morning till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night at the latest. Nothing crazy, no other band members. And probably 2 or 3 weeks into it, Neil wanted to record this next song. I'm no, I'm not going to play that one yet. Okay. So the song I'm going to play you is called Lost in Space. And the reason I'm playing it for you is this was the day that the harmonizer I ordered. Back then, harmonizers weren't like everywhere yet. You know, they were expensive. They were like $3,500 to $5,000 if memory serves correctly. And the guy that I bought gear from dropped one off to let me try it for a week, see if I liked it. So we plugged it in, and let's just say that there might have been a little bit of partying going on. Very little. Neil was not like a big druggie at all, but we might have augmented the situation a little bit. And I turned on the vocal mic out in the studio, and I went out there and plugged in some headphones, and the two of us were just cracking up, like falling down laughing, listening to him through the harmonizer. And so this, you'll hear it. That's all I can say is you'll hear it. Let me find it. Video will play after ads. Why, I'm shocked.
Live with me. Live with me.
By the way, the acoustic
Live
guitar on
with
this was
me.
going through a B3 Leslie. I think that was my
Live with me.
and I think that the 12 string
Live
that you hear
with
on this is
me.
my actual personal 12 string. Neil wanted to use it. Okay.
Lost in space. I heard you were lost in space. That's such a lonely place for you to be. Out of control, singing with too much soul. I heard you got out on parole, working for the Queen. Gardening again, landscape again, keeping all the grounds around her clean. Working for the Queen. Don't take out the magic pen. Don't draw on the infinity board. Your buildings, if they rise again, would do much better on the ocean floor. They'll never feel the way they did before. They did before.
That was
Out
Neil.
on the ocean floor, out on the ocean floor. What could be stranger than the unknown danger that lies on the ocean floor? Breakers crash on the beach. I count them like lambs in my sleep. They come at me steady. They know I'm not ready. They pound on my mattress door. Have they got a big one in store? Losing you. I heard I was losing you. That's not the only thing that I got to lose. I got to lose the deep sea blues. Look at these blues, the deep sea blues.
to lose the deep sea blues. Look at these blues. I got the deep sea blues. Live with me. Live with me. Live with me.
Can hear the Leslie. All right, so yeah, we had just so much fun doing that. I mean, as soon as he heard himself through the harmonizer, it's like, we've got to use that on this song. And he so wanted it to sound like aliens down on the ocean floor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was 77 or 78, probably 78, I think. Like I said, this was just Neil, myself, and my assistant. Everything you heard on there was Neil playing it. As a matter of fact, the stuff that I'm playing now from that song forward is all stuff that's almost entirely stuff that we did together. No overdubs, at the Nashville studios that some of the record, some of Comes a Time got done at. These are pretty much in their natural state. Like the 1/4-inch reel-to-reel and some cassettes I've got of this stuff sounds like what you're hearing. Okay, this one is called Pocahontas. And the reason that I chose it is I think we did everything at Triad, but listen to what Neil called the arrows flying. He wanted to simulate the sounds of arrows flying by. So he said, let's try a guitar pick on the piano strings. So we stereo mic'd the piano, like extreme stereo. And then he went out there with one of his picks and would just go zip, zip. And I think we might have harmonized those or adulterated them in some way. But yeah, this is what it sounded like, the day we did it.
Aurora borealis, the icy sky at night, paddles cut the water.
And you can hear my live chamber on his voice.
Flight from the white man to the fields of green.
And this is him playing the drums with his hands. Tom Jones.
We've never seen. They killed us in our teepees and they cut our women down. They might have left some babies crying on the ground, but the fire stirs and the wagons come and the night falls on the setting sun. Massacred the buffalo, kitty corner from the bank, and the taxis run across my feet.
Taxi.
And my eyes have turned to blanks in my little box at the top of the stairs with my Indian love and a pipe to share. sing. And maybe Marlon Brando could be there by the fire, sitting top of Hollywood, and the good things there for hire, and the Astrodome, and the first TV. Marlon Brando, Pocahontas and me. Marlon Brando, Pocahontas and me. Pocahontas.
Okay. Let's do a song called Sail Away. Again, I'm playing these because these were almost entirely just Neil and myself with my assistant Paul. So they sound like they did back in the day. Couple of ads. That was just Neil playing bass notes on the acoustic instead of using an actual bass guitar. Okay, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I could live inside a teepee. I could die in penthouse 35. You could lose me on the freeway, but I would still make it back alive. As long as we can sail away. As long
I've got to pause it to bring up something here. Sorry, Neil. Sorry, you guys. Remember I told you about how my assistant Paul would have to hold up a mic on a boom and follow him around the room? This was one of those songs. You can hear it kind of drifting out on the vocal level and stuff. He was literally just kind of walking around noodling on it, and we recorded something that he liked and we kept as a take.
as we can sail away, there'll be wind in the canyon, moon on the rise, as long as we can sail away. See the losers in the best bars, meet the winners in the dive, where the people are the real stars, all the rest of their lives, as long as we can sail away, as long as we can sail away, there'll be wind in the canyon, moon on the rise, as long as we can sail away. There's a road stretched out between us.
All right, we're running a little short in time, so I want to get on to the last one that I had slotted for today's entertainment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Nicolette Larson. I sent him to Nashville. He wanted to go overdub. The people at Warner Brothers said, Neil, you can't put out a record. It's just you on a bunch of acoustic instruments. You should have a band. So he went to Nashville, and he asked me if I could refer him to somebody. So I sent him to a friend of mine named David Kennedy at Woodland Studios, or Woodland Sound Studios. Yeah, there's more of that story, but I shouldn't tell it publicly. It's private. And now, speaking of Kennedy, we're going to listen to Captain Kennedy, which, if I remember, again, this one might be entirely stuff that we did. I thought that last one was, but I forgot about the drums and backgrounds. Neil Young, Captain. No, not going to listen to a UFC commercial. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am a young mariner headed to war. I'm thinking about my family and what it was for. There's water on the wood and the sails feel good. And when I get to shore, I hope that I can kill good. My father was a sailor named Captain Kennedy. He lost his wooden schooner to the Germans on the sea. Exploded on the water for everyone to see, and humiliate that American Captain Kennedy. I saw him in Nassau in 1971. His strength was failing, but he still ran a run. He worked till his fingers wore to the bone to buy that wooden schooner and sail on his own. Was known in the islands as 100-foot iron. That steel hull freighter was passing its time, and time flew by faster with life on the sea, and the days grew shorter for Captain Kennedy. I am a young mariner headed to war. I'm thinking about my family and what it was for. There's water on the wood and the sails feel good. And when I get to shore, I hope that I can kill good.
All right, there we have it. No more songs to play today, and our time is up. Anyway, yeah, it gives you kind of a window into. At least I could shut my eyes and just be right back there and feel that feeling. I remember one of the songs I played for you today. I think it might have been Captain Kennedy. I do a pretty good Neil Young imitation. That's why I wore the shirt and hat today. And I was in the control room with my assistant, Paul, and we were doing a playback. I think it was Captain Kennedy, and Neil had gone to the restroom, and he walks back into the control room. The control room door was behind me, and I didn't see him walk in, and he was standing there watching me. I don't know if when Neil would walk around the studio or sing in the control room, he'd do this thing, and I could do it a lot better back in the day. Anyway, he walked in, he was standing behind me, and then all of a sudden I could see Paul's eyes open up, and I went, he's standing right behind me, isn't he? And he goes, yeah. I turned around. Neil was laughing so unbelievably hard. So that was, kind of a running joke every now and then. I'd say something like, watch it, or I'll have to do it, an imitation. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a great weekend. I don't know where you guys all live, but I can tell you what, here in Southern California, it's well over 100 degrees today. Very, very hot. So stay cool, stay healthy, wash your hands. And I will see you Monday. For Monday's show, by the way, we've got Stephen Memel, who is one of the great performance coaches, I believe, in the United States. I've literally watched him perform performance miracles, taking a band and transforming them on stage at the rally. And he's a great presenter, so he's going to join me on Monday's show, and he's going to show you guys, or teach you guys, how to properly do an at-home concert, a live stream at-home concert. Give you great tips for that. So have your notepads ready for that one. We will see you then. And, shall I play the Quarantini ending music? Whoa. And don't forget, if you're new, subscribe, and if you're old, like us. Would appreciate those likes, and see you guys on Monday for another exciting episode of Taxi TV Live.